We're not of this world. This is why you and I have never fit in or really even wanted to. It's why you don't like this world. You don't like it because you're not a part of it. There are many roads and paths that we can choose to walk in this life. And many people over their lifetimes will choose many roads and paths. They try many different ones only to get lost. Only to get lost, confused, and wonder, where am I at? How did I end up here? They're always looking for success, happiness, and answers to the mystery of this life. But they don't stay on the road that God gives them. Many times the road can be lonely and void of any real friendships or family bonds. In fact, sometimes the family can be your greatest enemies. We must be careful who we call friends, and especially who we call brother and sister. This journey that we are embarking on, that we are almost at the end of, will take you to every emotional destination known to mankind. Many times it can be tiresome and rough. There are times on this journey that we feel defeated and beaten both physically and mentally. It can break you, confuse you. You can feel angry, bitter. However, many of these emotions come when we start walking the wrong road. You see, we have moments in our lives, we all have, that we question everything. Sometimes we endure heartaches. Sometimes tears roll down the faces. Sometimes we grit our teeth and we clench our fists, man. And many times on this journey, we are our own worst enemy. We make decisions that make our journey far harder than it has to be, and we cannot do this as we are walking the last half mile. Now, what happens? We start to ignore the truth and we start taking exits. We start turning our head to the side, left and right, and looking at the scenery. We start looking at the other people. When God gives you a straight path and He says, I will straighten your path, you walk the straight path. There's nothing to the left or right that should appeal to you, because what's in front of you is Jesus Christ. People are always looking for shortcuts, loopholes, and they always find detours as they travel. I can go here and it'll make it quicker, it'll be easier. We have orders to walk straight ahead, not exit for any reason. Yet all of us in our lives have taken harmful exits, because sometimes we're curious. We want to see what's beyond the exits. Sadly and painfully, we always ended up finding out the hard way. There is no shortcut. There ain't no loopholes. All exits, all detours lead to trouble, and lots of it. You see, sometimes God's children have to learn things the hard way. We learn that there's only one way. One way. I share these words as we go further. Psalms 25:10. All the paths of the Lord are mercy and truth unto such as keep His covenant and His testimonies. You see, people follow creation instead of the Creator. There are times during our journey that we will encounter many different types of people, and no more time is this relevant than now, because we are seeing a world that is absolutely crazy, man, insane and filled with evil. They don't have a spirit of God in them. Many of them are just pure evil, and their sole goal in this life is to hinder your walk, to lie and deceive and make things as hard as possible. We have a choice to ignore, avoid, and refute these hideous creatures. These evil people can wear masks, and many times we struggle to understand who they are until the Father gives us the ability to pull the mask off and see them for what they are. And these people will shout at us and cuss us and call us names and tell us how bad we are as we walk our road, and they stand on the side. Because Jesus Christ said, you will be hated for my name's sake. What does that mean? It means you're going to be hated because we're not like them. We follow Jesus Christ. We know who we are. We understand enough to know we have a Father. He gave us a part of Himself, Jesus Christ, and we know that's the truth. We trust His word. We trust His love. We trust Him enough to know I'm going to walk straight to you. Now, as we walk, sometimes we will walk with our brothers and sisters, and this can be very good, because you should walk with your own kind. You should walk with your own people. What kind am I talking about? I'm talking about the godly kind. And you know, our journey may be different, but we're always the brothers and sisters of Jesus Christ are always going the same direction. We're going home. We're going home. And we have our example, the one who came before us and walked the walk. It was Jesus Christ, tempted by the devil, but conquered him with what? The word of our Father. The God that we love, that we call Father, Jehovah, gave us his truth. Jesus used his truth and said, this is what the Father said. Jesus Christ was mocked, laughed at, kidnapped, beaten, sleep deprived, and murdered by the same evil that is still here now. The same people that are working 24/7 to redirect you off the path you are on. Lies, deceit, and filth. They don't want to hear about Jesus. And through all of this, the Almighty Father, the one true God, his name is Jehovah, he watches this play out. But he always will rescue his children in their time of need. How could our Father ever be the most high and merciful Father if he did not rescue his children in their time of need? When we seek him, Jeremiah 29:13 says, and you shall seek me and find me when ye shall search for me with all your heart. You see, we've never been alone. We were not put here to fail. We're not accidents. We did not walk out of Africa. We do not come from evolution. We do not come from sludge. We do not come from space. We came from the one true God. There's never been a moment in life that God did not know exactly where you and I were and what we were doing. Not one. God has intervened in our lives more than we would possibly know. We don't even understand, because I don't think we're allowed to understand how much God does for us. And as we get ready to walk this last half mile, why are we seeing and understanding what others do not? Because it's God Almighty. It's Jehovah Father who has called you to this truth. And his truth is what? Jesus. Count your blessings in these times if you are a lover of Jesus. Because it's not by chance that you are. It is the mighty Father that has preserved you and kept you walking his path. We share these words with you. Proverbs 3:6, in all thy ways acknowledge him. In all your ways acknowledge your Father, and he shall direct thy paths. Proverbs 2:8, he keepeth the paths of judgment, and preserveth the way of his saints, his elect, his children. Our Father keeps us on his road, and this is a road of love. It's a road of trust. If we weren't loved, we would be left to our own failures, which is many. You see, if we were left on our own, we would not make it back home. We're not able. We're not capable. You see, the greatest lesson that you will ever learn in this life is that we cannot make it without God. You see, the greatest lesson that you will ever learn in this life is that we cannot make it without God. You see, the greatest lesson that you will ever learn in this life is that we cannot make it without God.